All right, so over the years that I've been working out, and as someone who was also focused on growing his career as a software engineer, I've actually realized that the most important thing when it comes to seeing progress is your habits. So, in today's video, I want to share 5 of these habits that are really useful for me and hopefully are going to be useful to you as well. So, getting right into it with the habit number 1, and that is tracking. Now, a couple of things that you can track and that you might consider tracking. So, the first one is tracking your body weight. I think that this is one of the most crucial things that you can track and the most important metric that you need to keep an eye on. So every single morning after you wake up, before you drink anything, before you eat anything, just go to the toilet, then step on a scale, take the measurement and log it into your phone. Then I recommend every single week do a little review, and you want to look at the general direction of your weight. So this is gonna be really helpful for you, whether you try to gain muscle or you try to lose fat. You want to see if the weight is going up or down so that you know that the things are actually working and if you need to make adjustments. So very helpful. I would say this is one of the best things that you can do. And there were, I think, also some studies showing that like just by tracking your weight, you actually become a bit more mindful when it comes to what you eat. And it's gonna by default, without doing anything else, make you lose a bit more weight because you're gonna be eating a bit less. So moving on to another thing that you can track, and that is your workout. Now you want to do this mostly because of progressive overload. So progressive overload, very simplified, is the general increase in weight or the reps that you do on a given exercise over time. And this is one of the key things when it comes to building muscle. That was like when I also saw the most results. It was when I focused on strength a lot and I was tracking my workouts. It's gonna keep you on track when it comes to improving. Without tracking your exercises, you might be stuck at the same weight, at the same reps for a month without even really noticing. So just by tracking your workout, by tracking the exercise, the sets that you do, the reps, and the weight that you do on a given exercise, whenever you go to have a workout, you can look at the previous week or the previous workout, and you can try to add a little bit more weight to the exercise. So very helpful, especially when you try to build strength. There are multiple apps that can do this for you, or you can just do this in a Google Excel sheet and you're good. So moving on to the last thing that you can track, that is tracking your food. So I think that you can get by without doing this. I think that tracking your body weight is more important. But especially if you're someone who's just starting out and doesn't know a lot about nutrition, this is gonna be really helpful. It's gonna train your brain when it comes to the calories and the protein that each individual ingredients have. And that's gonna be a good investment for the rest of your life. Then when you, for example, go eat out, just by looking at the food, you're gonna approximately know how much calories, how much protein it has, and it's gonna be a lot easier for you to tell how much you're actually eating in a day. So this is a good investment into your future as well. And if you want to be a bit more strict, if you're on a diet, this is also pretty good if you want to track everything on a daily basis. it's gonna make it a lot easier to make adjustments to your food. And you're gonna see if you actually hit your protein goals. So yeah, tracking food. Moving on to a habit number 2, and that is limiting your food options at home. This is especially helpful if you're on a cut. So the rule that I follow is I don't bring any junk food or non-healthy food to my home. Whenever you're on a cut, whenever you try to lose weight, it's gonna be inevitable that you're gonna have cravings and that you're gonna feel hungry. So by just eliminating the bad food from your home, you're gonna prevent the disaster of you just overeating and snacking on not healthy food. Instead of that, even if you're hungry, you're gonna eat something healthy. It's just gonna satisfy you as much as the non-healthy food, or even more, and you're good. So why even expose yourself to other foods than that? This might be like a bit harder if you're living with someone as well, but try to do as much as possible to just have the foods that are healthy. Focus on foods that are high in protein, that are nutrient dense, and that are raw single ingredient. So things like meat, eggs, dairy, fruits, and vegetables. All right, so moving on to the habit number 3, and that is setting an alarm at night. So sleep is really crucial when it comes to a lot of things in your life, when it comes to your health, but it's also crucial when it comes to building muscle. Your muscle is actually built when you recover. It's not built when you're in the gym, so you don't overlook this. That was one of the mistakes that I've done when I was just beginning. And so by setting an alarm at night, you're gonna make sure that your sleep schedule is really consistent. After the alarm goes off, it's like my signal to do my night routine, to brush my teeth, to take a shower, and go to bed. So I make sure that I go to bed at the same time every single day. Of course, there are exceptions, but I minimize them a lot by doing this. And I also don't have an alarm in the morning because I want to give my body as much rest as it actually needs. And over time, you're gonna actually get really used to this sleep schedule, and you're gonna wake up at the same time anyway. So for me, I usually wake up after around 5 a.m. because I go to sleep every single day at around 9. So I know that this will not be possible for everyone, maybe for people working night shifts, but if you can, another great habit that you can use. Another habit number 4, when it comes to sleep, is managing your light exposure. So to get a good quality sleep, you also want to get as much bright light in the morning. Now, ideally, you go outside. That's something that I don't do really that often as well, but you can at least mimic this by turning on as much bright lights in your apartment, or if you go to the office, and expose yourself to as much bright light as you can. At night, you actually want to do the opposite. So you want to limit the amount of light that you're exposed to. So at night, I usually shut down most of the lights in my apartment. I usually do this right after the alarm goes off, or even before that. And I then also try to limit my exposure to screens like your phone, like your computer, I have Mac OS and an iPhone. So what you can do is you can turn on sleep focus as well and night shift. So night shift is gonna actually turn your screen a bit reddish. It's gonna limit the blue light that the screens are emitting. And I think what that does is it doesn't block your melatonin production as much. And yeah, it's beneficial when it comes to sleep quality. The last habit number 5, is thinking long term. And this is probably the most important one because getting into shape and gaining muscle is all about consistency and doing this for a long time. So the things that you can do here is just get into the habit of showing up no matter what. So no matter how tired you feel, just get into the habit of, all right, I need to get into the gym. And what you'll find is most of the days you're gonna have a good workout anyway, and you're not gonna regret going. Another thing is try to enjoy the journey. Try to enjoy the workouts themselves. One last thing that I would say was pretty helpful for me as well is like an identity shift. So I've started from a really young age, and so I kind of got known as like the guy who goes to the gym really often. So recently as well, we've had a reunion of my high school classmates. They mentioned this as well. So I was the guy that was working out pretty consistently, and so this is something that stuck with me. That's almost a part of my identity, and things like these that you reinforce in your mind are gonna be a lot easier to do for you and to actually stay consistent with. So try to reinforce the thought of yourself as being someone who works out regularly, as someone who takes care of their health. And that is going to make it a lot easier to stay consistent. All right, that was everything that I wanted to talk about. And if you've enjoyed this video, if you took something out of it, then you will enjoy the last video that I've made. So I'm going to put it somewhere on the screen.